Hello, and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we're going to be talking about it's weird, a lot of people are calling it a leak, but basically, some people dove into the update that was just recently released for Forza Motorsport 7 and found a bunch of car thumbnails and also a couple of track placeholders that we're kind of not sure if... See, these things sometimes pop up, and you wonder why, you know, there's always some sort of speculation as to why these things have popped up, but regardless, these thumbnails were found, and I'm going to go over with you guys what was found, what is new, and kind of what we can expect from this, and I want to hear your guys' opinions in the comment section below as well on what kind of a leak like this means. Now, this was first kind of put out there by a guy over on GT Planet, and what he found is very interesting. So firstly, we're going to go over the new additions that are, I guess you would call them like new to the game, new to the franchise, like never been in Forza before. There's the Austin FX4 Taxi, the Ford Escort XR3, the Ford Fiesta GRC, the Morris Minor, and the P50. And, I mean, they're like, they apparently actually did legit find this. And also, the 2019 Ford Mustang GT, the quote-unquote weaponized 007 Aston DB5, and the McLaren Senna. So, these cars are cars that have not been in a Forza game before, and at least I'm pretty sure that they have never been in a Forza game before. But no, these cars are newcomers, and it would be very, very interesting, very, very, very interesting to see which of these cars actually end up making it into the game at any given point. I personally would be so excited to see the Fiesta GRC, I mean, the Morris Minor is kind of the FX4 Taxi is like, okay, kind of whatever. The Escort XR3 is very cool. The P50, I'm sure, will be a riot. And the 2019 Mustang GT, I mean, it's a Mustang. It's going to be fun to drive, but it's also going to be kind of just a Mustang. There's going to be a lot of Von Gittin Jr. drift design replicas and such. But the weaponized DB5 is going to be kind of weird, and I cannot wait to see how the McLaren Senna drives, regardless of what the internet seems to think about how it looks. I mean, I myself have cracked jokes about the McLaren Senna, or at least the way it looks, but you got to remember, that car was designed from the ground up for pure function, and no line on that car is there for no reason. No line on that car doesn't have a purpose. So, like, every single thing on the body of that car, like, it looks that way because the wind tunnel designed it to look that way, if that makes any sense. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick is some track placeholders were apparently also found. For example, Bristol Motor Speedway placeholder, Willows Park placeholder, which, when you think about it, could mean Willow Springs, Zoo placeholder, which I have no idea what that could mean, and it's honestly very, very weird, because it's like, okay, so are they getting ready for another round of, you know, are they getting ready for another round of car DLC and track DLC? Or are they kind of prepping for all this stuff at once? And you can kind of, like I said, go back and forth on what this all means. And by the way, the gameplay that you're watching right now of Forza Motorsport 7, yeah, I know that this drifting is really sloppy, but I didn't realize that this particular car had stock BRZ power with really wide tires and like a wide body, and by the time I started drifting it, I was like, you know what, I want a challenge of trying to drift like a 200 horsepower BRZ, like a super low power BRZ with insanely wide, like something like freaking like 295s they've got to be or something in the back. And, you know, actually sliding around when you have literally no option but to just speed and inertia drift. You can't, like, power over the rear wheels into, like, a full-on drift angle. It just doesn't really work. But, again, back to what I was talking about before, this could mean a lot of things. And I think that there's a lot that we can... that we can speculate on, per se. But, like, also, I do want to say that there's been, apparently... There's these two off-road spec. There's an off-road spec Range Rover and an off-road spec Bentley Bentayga, and they are very weird off-road specs. Like, they're just really strange. First of all, the wheels don't fit the arches, and the bumper is like really, really just odd looking. There's a lot of things in this, like I said, supposed leak there's a lot of things that are just really, really odd. It's some things that don't add up, and I don't know if I just feel that way because I don't know if all of these cars would work. They would all work. That's the thing, is they would all work. But at the same time, it makes you wonder if, like, well, okay, so does this mean that this is, like, the direction of all of the DLC for the next, like, you know, few DLCs? If that's the case, then this leak has given us a pretty good indicator of what we can expect. If not, then it kind of makes me wonder where they're going with this, because there's a good chance that, like, this could mean nothing. They're just placeholder thumbnails that aren't going to do anything. Like, we've seen that happen before, where we'll find thumbnails, or somebody in the community will find thumbnails in a game, thumbnails of cars, that don't ever actually end up making it into a game. Like, thumbnails of cars or thumbnails of tracks, and they just never end up getting used, and they're there kind of as a, well, what if, like, they're there if we intend to use them, but we may not, or we don't have to. So it's kind of one of those things, too, where it's like, this is a lot of stuff. It's a lot of info. It's a lot of thumbnails, and it's like, okay, well, we're going to have to really wait and see what ends up happening here. And I do notice a very overwhelming amount of British cars, and, I mean, really, when you think about it at the end of the day, it's like, huh, is that, like, a focus for something? And some people have even speculated that, is this an indicator that Horizon 4 could be located in the UK? Which would be very, very strange, by the way. That would be an odd one, because nobody's really speculated on it yet. Nobody's really thought to themselves, would it be in, would Horizon 4 be in the UK? Like, I personally, I mean, I could see them putting it there, but at the same time, I could see a lot of people in the community getting upset if they did decide to put it in the UK. I can see, like, the UK people really being excited about it, but then again, I can see a lot of other people getting kind of upset about it, because the UK, I mean, because the UK does have a good variety of terrain, but the thing is, it's not a very big place. I mean, when you think about it, it's actually very small compared to, you know, a lot of normal US states. So it's like one of those things that you got to think about. It's like, I personally don't think they would put it in the UK, but that's up for debate. That's up for, you know, finding out the closer we get to the actual release and the actual reveal of the location, because we don't know. Like, for all we know, it could be in the UK. So this could be some sort of indicator of that. I don't necessarily think it is, but it's something to keep in mind. Now, to go over the returning cars, like the cars that have already been in Forza at any given time, at any given game in the series, to go over the cars that have been in the game before, but thumbnails have been found for, there is the TVR Cerberus Speed 12, the Morgan Arrow Super Sports, Bentley 8-liter, Ascari KZ1R, Austin Healey 3000, Austin Healey Sprite, MG MGB GT, and Eagle Speedster. Now, also, the other ones that are kind of like, they're just different and weird. There were some that came back, you know, like the Hoonigan with an alternate livery, like a blank NASCAR Camry, like a couple of other weird things here and there that, I mean, I didn't really think that they were massive highlights of this whole, again, supposed leak. But again, they all kind of, the main things that I want to focus on here are the new cars and if we get new tracks. Because, I mean, if we get Willow Springs, that'd be freaking awesome. But if you guys did enjoy this coverage of this very interesting update in Forza Motorsport 7, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later.